So if you somehow found this link and you're not an OAV, please identify yourself. I think there are some people on here that I'm not sure are OAVs. I'm not sure how they got the link, or else you're using a Zoom account that belongs to somebody else. Um, okay. All right. So let me go ahead and jump in. I want to go over some documents with you. And one of them is the main document that we'll review tonight. So I'll share that with you. This is an OAV meeting to make sure all our OAVs are on the same page and understand what's going on and what to expect. So I've shared a screen with you so that we can review some stuff and go over it. So let me jump in here. We've prayed. I want to come to this number 2. We'll come back to that at the end, but I want to hit number 3 first. OAVs know that there's a travel package, and what that means is the Florida Conference will subsidize your travel and your participation in the Believe the Promise Camporee. That applies to PAC at one level, and it applies to the OAVs at another level. So there are 2 levels of commitment and support. Those documents exist on your OAV info webpage. So I'd like you to review those, make sure that you understand those. And as you prepare for Gillette, one of the things we'll do tonight is go over tickets and all that. But I did want to make sure everybody was aware that there are 2 travel packages for our OAVs, one for our PAC members. And that's something that if you aren't aware of, you can go to your OAV info and get that. And we'll be sending out an email this week as well as a follow-up to this meeting. Again, trying to get all our OAVs on the same page, make sure that we all understand what's going on. I do want to jump into number 4 on the agenda. And number 4 is talking about travel plans. And this is a big one that I want to make sure everybody is clear on. For travel plans, all PAC members have been asked to arrive as early as possible on Sunday, August 4. So if you are a PAC member, that's when you've been asked to arrive, and you've been asked to arrive to Casper. That's to Casper, Wyoming. And that's because that's where, for our PAC members, there will be transportation to get you. We'll start coordinating all of that as you book flights and do those kinds of things. For all our other OAVs, this is our non-PAC members. We ask you to arrive no earlier than Monday, August 5, and ideally before noon. And there's a reason for that. Because all of the OAV team, Monday is when clubs can come in. Monday is when people can start to arrive. And we want as many of our team there as possible on Monday to start receiving people. From Camporee statistics, they say that on Monday, usually about 60% of the people will arrive, and another 40% will arrive on Tuesday. For those of you that are still getting up to speed with Camporee news and Camporee information, I'll share this with you. At 8 a.m. on Monday, that's when the gates officially open. So as you talk to clubs, clubs may arrive and start setting up their camping area Monday, August 5, 8 a.m. That's when gates officially open. So let me walk through this a little bit more detail. Travel plans. As you make travel plans, PAC members, please keep that in mind. Get there as early as you can on Sunday, August 4, and all other OAVs get there as early as you can on Monday, August 5, and ideally before noon. For all of our OAVs, it's up to you to get to the Camporee. There is no transportation coordinated. We don't have any trips planned to make sure that all of our OAVs get there. So that's up to you if you're arriving on Monday. And part of the rationale for this is the following. Camporee wants to limit the number of people on site until the event actually opens. Part of the strategy for that is fewer people means more can get done in terms of setup. We don't have all our areas set up. We don't have everything designed and ready to go until Sunday. And then Sunday, we're going to spend, the early strike crew is going to spend Sunday moving pallets and moving containers to areas. So there'll be heavy equipment moving around. So we don't want kids doing anything there. We don't want extra people standing around there or people trying to set up camping areas. So please do follow this schedule. We ask that you follow the schedule as listed here. Again, we'll email this to you. But as you plan arriving at Gillette, we wanted to make sure that that was something that we go over. I'm going to jump to number 5 in the agenda. And number 5 is limited golf carts. We still have no news on golf carts. And in the past, if you have been to an international camporee, you know how important people feel about golf carts. Why? Because there's a lot of walking. And so you got to come to Gillette, you got to come to international camporee or any big camporee with the mindset of, I'm going to be walking quite a bit. And as I keep watching this thing and the limited golf carts, it may be that we have some OAVs that help us to be like medical assistant shuttles, and that people would pay for that service instead of renting a golf cart. We'd say, if you pay for this service, we'll shuttle you around. And we have a couple people shuttling. I think we have probably over a dozen clubs that want medical assistance carts, and that's probably not going to happen. Another thing about golf carts I'll share with you as our OAV team is that they're saying golf carts won't be allowed in the middle of the camporee. So if you're thinking that the golf cart will get me everywhere, they're saying golf carts will be pushed out to the perimeter, and golf carts will travel around the perimeter of the camp, but not through the camp. That's what they're saying. So we're going to have to think differently about golf carts and what we do and how we shuttle people and how we take care of people. So just want to keep those things in mind. I would like to get a quick vote here. We've talked about an OAV village. So in other words, if you're with the area, if you're an area administrator, you're going to have an area headquarters. So we'll have a north, central, south, west area headquarters, and that's where our area admins will live. And that's where there'll be a headquarters with a light tower, with a charging station, with a tent set up with their colors, with a flag with their colors. So part of the idea is that kids from anywhere can see the purple flag, the red flag, the blue flag, the yellow flag, and say, hey, that's my area. So they know where to go and how to find their club. But outside of that, our OAVs that are coming, we've talked about an OAV camping area, an OAV village, and just wanted to get a quick idea. Are some of our OAVs on this call tonight, are you interested in an OAV village? Have you thought about that, where you're going to stay? Are you staying with a club? Are you staying off-site? I'd like to get some input real quick. So we'll come back to that just because I can't see much from this screen and share back and forth, but that's what I'm looking for. We'll come back to that. Let's go to number 7, OAV assistance. Part of the reason that we're saying we want to help cover expenses for you is because we know it costs money to get to Gillette, and we know that there are expectations that we have out there that we're going to need help with stuff. If you've checked, I think, Javier, the last time I checked, it's almost 3,800 people from Florida registered to go. There's a nod from Javier. So yeah, that's a lot of people. That's more than we've ever had at an international camporee. In fact, last time I think it was 1,000 less than that, or close to 1,000 less than that. I think we're about 800 over what we were last time. So that's a lot of people to care for. So what we need our OAV team is to connect with clubs, ensuring they're having a great club experience. And that's visiting people every day. Our area admins will help with that. All their OAV team that's with them, their cluster and their zone. We want to organize that so that there's a rotation and clubs are getting visited by their OAVs. We want help with staffing the Florida headquarters. We're going to have a trailer and a main area, and we need help staffing that. Florida security, we're going to have a security team, and that's going to be just for Florida. Florida will also have responsibilities at the Southern Union Bathhouse, out at the Southern Union entrance. So there are different people that will have to be in different places. Leading out in honors, I know Deidre's taken on that task of building that honor list, but we'd love for our OAVs to be teaching honors, to be sharing. Because we're bringing such a large number of people to the event, we'd like to have Florida offering a lot of honors as our contribution to the event. And then this last one is the Florida golf cart shuttle service. That's something we talked about, that might be a reality. So that's another piece to look at. And then this last piece, number 8, is the OAV reimbursement. And as you know, you turn in your monthly reports. And after returning from Gillette on your monthly August report, we're asking you to turn in all of your reimbursements by September 15. September 15. So that's what we're looking for. Please keep that date in mind. And these are some of the highlights that I wanted to go over with you, just to try to make sure that we are on the same page moving forward. So that's the big picture of what our OAVs are doing and where we're going. I want to open the floor for questions. If we have any questions up to this point in terms of what has been shared. And I know some came kind of after we'd already started, but I do want to open the floor if anyone has a question.
I don't have a question, but just want to share with you also that I'll be working with I can't remember his name for the drill. I don't have the schedule yet, but I know I'll be working with them for one day for the drill competition.
Is that Earl?
No, I'm talking about the one that is in charge. The one that is in charge of the Camporee, the drill Camporee.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he hasn't sent me the schedule yet, so but I know maybe when I'm there.
Okay. Yeah, very good. Thank you for sharing.
And also I think we probably might be interested in having an OAV village, because I know in times past knowing that, or that's okay. I'll talk after.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about that. That's part of what I wanted to know too, was the OAV village and what people felt about that.
Can I jump in at that point, Pastor P? Good afternoon, good evening, everyone.
Please, good afternoon.
I would suggest, even for the OAV village, that each area may have a camping section for the OAV. So the OAV will camp within the area. So not a separate OAV in a village way out there somewhere, but say my OAV from the south will have a little area next to the headquarters somewhere there that they will camp. So they'll be a part of the headquarters.
Okay. What do you guys think of that?
Come on, say brilliant.
This is Daryl. Good afternoon, everybody.
Hey, Daryl.
Hey, Pedro. I agree with Anthony, because there are some drum instructors that actually would like to go to the Camporee. Well, they are going to the Camporee, but their clubs may not be going, and so they need somewhere to camp. And I think an OAV village would be great if they can camp in their area near the headquarters.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Same here for me. I think that might be a nice idea. Since I'm going with Lehigh, they're gonna be staying at a hotel, so they're gonna be driving 45 an hour every day back and forth. So
gotcha.
I may have to be riding with them, or I could just stay in the campsite.
Okay.
Yeah. Pastor Pedro, this is Calvin here. I think it's a great idea that the OAV village be close to him. We're gonna do the distribution from. They're right there in OAV village. They will know which area need help. The area admin would visit the area, but
I think I lost you. I don't know if everybody else lost you, Calvin.
Yeah, I lost him too. Here's a question I have.
Yes.
In light of the fact that you have limited golf carts.
Yeah.
So maybe someone is. I thought I heard several maybe OAVs camping per area, because depends on how far away the village, or rather headquarters, is from wherever they need to get. So that's another factor, I think.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And it may be that we do both. If an area wants to have people camping around their headquarters, and we can do that in a way that works, then the area can have an area OAV village, which I like for proximity and being available to the area admins. And then if there are OAVs that are with us, I know we've got some adventure OAVs coming. We've got some PAC members. We've got some people that might not be necessarily with the area. So yeah, we can play with that. I like both ideas. Calvin, you want to try again? I know we lost you for a minute there.
Yeah, I was saying that the OAV village, if it's close to headquarters, then you know exactly where to find the OAV. Not only area admin. Remember now, OAV is not only area admin. So they will be needed in other areas and other places. So if they are close to headquarters, you'd know that OAV Village is right there, so you can find them right there when you need them.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Okay. All right, good input. Anyone else have any thoughts or questions about what we've gone over?
Pastor Pedro in the chat. Let's see. It says Jacqueline Acosta. I think one village for the OAV would be a good idea, and we should meet in the morning.
Yeah, okay, that's a good idea. Meet in the morning. Sister Lydia, cluster 4. Okay. All right. So yeah, I think having an area meeting with your team is a great idea. I think that's something that area admins, I would encourage you to definitely consider. We will meet every morning at 7 or 7:15. I don't think that's been decided yet. Calvin, Javier, Stephen, and I will go over to the main meeting where we'll get information. We'll bring that back every morning and meet with Florida Conference between 7 and 7:15. And Eartha has agreed to coordinate those morning meetings for us. So we're thankful for her help with that. But that is where we'll get organized every morning as a conference with our directors, but getting area admins to get their teams coordinated and organized for the day would be great. And even in the bigger picture, Javier, as we think about getting together, like going over shower schedules for the day, going over security schedules for the day, I think it would be great to have an OAV meeting every day to organize, coordinate, remind everybody of that. If you've been a part of big events, most of you have, you've come to different things. One of the worst things that can happen at a big event is that somebody doesn't show up. Because if you don't show up, usually you're assigned with other people, and people don't like when other people don't show up. An example, it's time to monitor the Southern Union Gate, right, for entrance. There are 4 people on the list, only 2 show up. The 2 people that show up are wondering, why aren't the other 2 people here? And so if we have a time every day where we're reminding everyone, here's your schedule, here's what you're doing, here's what we have for you for the day. We do want OAVs to be a part of the team, and we want OAVs to have time to be a part of the Camporee. So it's both things working together, right? Being a part of the team means that we're going to need you at different times, and being a part of the team means that we want to free you up at different times to go and explore and do things and be a part of the Camporee. So those are some of the things to go over. Just checking in. Anyone else have a question? Yeah.
I get that we will have our morning meetings and so forth. So we'll also have, I know in the past we had like a meeting at the end of the night. So we'll have a morning meeting and an end of day meeting. Like last Camporee, we had it around 10 o'clock or so at night. So
yeah, that's a good point. I don't know that if we meet at 10, we'd need to meet in the morning. Maybe we would meet quickly after. So if we do meet at 10, I think somebody help me. I don't remember us all making it to that, because at 10 o'clock, so much is going on. We've got people trying to help clubs get settled down, doing different things. So some people are there, but not everybody comes to that. So maybe we need to do night and the morning, and do morning just after we break with our conference meeting. I know also part of that challenge is everybody's starting to do stuff, right? And move around. So yeah, it's a good question.
Pastor Pedro, this is Calvin here. We normally do morning meeting because we get information in the morning which we can give to the club. For example, if they change places where the area where they're gonna teach honor, or they change anything during the day, we could give that to the club right where in the morning, that they would know exactly what change is happening and where to go.
That's true. Yep. Okay.
I guess I'm trying to find out if we would have one meeting or we will need to have 2. But I mean, either way, if you feel more information will come early morning when we go to the morning meetings, most likely, then that would make sense that is being, communicated to them in the morning. And again, if we had it late at night, it's just where do you think most of the changes will happen? Is it overnight, so it's communicated in the morning meetings, or is it sometime in the day, so you're getting it so that you can share it late at night for them to share overnight with the clubs?
Yeah. So let's plan on both. I think that's going to be the best strategy. To do every night will be our main OAV meeting, and we'll also want to OAV check-in every morning after our conference meeting. I think we should plan both. And I would hope all OAVs are at our morning meeting as well, because that's a time where you're going to get information. Again, if you've been to one of these events, one of the big things is people like to know information. And most people don't like to look for information. They'd rather ask someone for information. I'm the same way, right? If I know I can just ask someone instead of spend an hour looking for it, I'll just ask someone who I think knows it. So the more our OAV team knows the information, the more that we can be able to help our clubs. Very good. I'm going to jump to another shared screen because I want to make sure that we get some clarity on this. And this is reviewing our list of who's coming to Camporee from the OAV team. And if you're one of our area admins, I'd like you to take note of this, especially. I'd like you to confirm with your team. This is the final list that I have of OAVs that are coming. And you'll see up on top also here that it's the need ticket, has ticket. And that's something that we want to make sure we clarify as well, because if you need a ticket and we don't know about it, then that could cause a challenge for us. So give me 1 second. Let me freeze this top row. All right. So let's look at this. From the north area, we have Sherry coming from the north area, and she needs a ticket. We have Albert, who says he's coming from the north area, and he also says he needs a ticket. From the central area, we have Lurlette, our area admin, and the TAA is temporary area admin. Sherry's filling in for us, and we appreciate that. But I know that that's a heavy load because she's doing adventures and pathfinders. For central, we have our area admin, Lurlette, coming, John and Grace. Grace is an adventure area admin, and they have their tickets. We have Eric, who's one of our cluster coordinators, coming. He needs a ticket. His daughter Lindsay's also coming. She needs a ticket. From the west, I only have 2 people, Vicky and Yolanda, our area admin and cluster, and they both need tickets. And where it says need ticket, that means that PAD has purchased a ticket for them and is providing that. From the south, we have Anthony Shaw as our area admin, and then Leo Gonzalez as one of our cluster, Dahlia as one of our adventure zone administrators, Anthony Wilson, Mava, Edith Jean, AJ.
There's gonna be this is Dahlia. It's gonna be a change in mind. I will not be attending. I will not be there. So I gave my actually. I'll talk to you after.
Okay, I'll make a note.
I forget to mention it to you, brother Pastor Petch. Yes.
Okay.
I'll talk to you after the meeting.
Yes,
okay.
please do.
Right?
That's important. And these are the kinds of
okay.
things that we want to make sure that we're on the same page, so that
I should have called you before, but I didn't.
Well, thank you for
Sorry
saying
about
something
it.
now, and maybe we can connect after this. Let's jump down. Malva, Edith Jean, AJ, George, Jackie, Carell, Naomi, Lydia, Jacqueline. And Jacqueline also is coming from the adventure team, and I didn't have her highlighted, so I'll make sure I do that. That's our South team. So you can tell our South team is one of our bigger teams, and that's a lot of help for Anthony, so we're glad for that. If you're a PAC member on tonight, this is who I have for PAC. I have Kim, Merlin, Calvin, and Merlin has a ticket. Calvin needs a ticket, if I understand that right. Kim needs a ticket. Again, if it says need a ticket, that means PAD is responsible for getting your ticket and paying for that for you. Kathy, Jose, Eartha, Francisco and his wife have their own tickets. Javier has his own ticket. And then I have Elliston, Deidre, Daryl, and Earl all as needing tickets. So that's my list. As you watch this list, does anyone have any updates? I know Delia said, hey, there's an update for me. As I look at this, I wonder is from West, if we have anyone from West, if Evelyn, anyone know about Evelyn? I didn't see her on this list. So I want to open the floor for just saying, does this look accurate? Are there any updates? I know we'll come back to Dahlia and work on that one, but anyone else, whether it's I have a ticket or I need a ticket, that needs to change, or I was going, I'm not going, or I'm not on the list, but I thought I was on the list. That's where I want to make sure that we're all on the same page here. The floor is open for input. I know there are some people on the call that I don't see on the list. So that's another reason why I wanted to just have the invitation sent out to everyone. Even if you're coming and you're saying, I'm coming with a club, I'm going to take care of myself, I don't need anything from the conference, even if you're doing that, I'd still like to have you on our list. So talk to me. Any corrections, any changes for that list?
Or Pastor Pedro, if somebody else is coming that is not in the list and you know about it.
Yeah. And what's their status? Do they have a ticket, need a ticket? Because I know that there are some people, like one of our truck drivers, he has his wife coming. I know we've got Earl who came and joined the team, and he's got his wife coming. And there are some people who are asking me for tickets, and I want to make sure our team is covered before I try to use one or two tickets that I have to help one or two other people on the team to get there. So that's part of the process that I wanted us to go through. So, Lorette.
Hi, Pastor. I have a question for you.
And then I heard Jose. We'll come back to you. Go ahead, Lorette.
Richard was just voted in as an OAV. He has a ticket and he's going to camp. How status would he be under?
Richard will be under Central. I'll add him. She's talking about Richard Crespo, and he already has a ticket. So that's good.
Yeah, and he's going with his club. So I wanted to know how, because he didn't get this email. So
he should have been added to the list. I'll make sure that we add him to send out the recording and also make sure that he gets the information. Thank you for adding that.
You're welcome.
Pastor Pedro in the chat, Henry said, I will go, but I need a ticket.
Okay, so Henry wants to go, but we don't have a ticket for him. And this is my first time seeing that, Henry, unless I've missed it before. So let me add you to the list as a pending, as a PAC member. Thank you for helping me with that, Kathy. I'm here on this side. So Henry is our evangelism director and needs a ticket. And I'm gonna highlight that so I see that that's a new one. All right. Thank you for that. Anyone else know of anyone else?
Yeah, this is Jose. Jose.
Yeah.
You're gonna find out also. You're gonna find one because she's gonna go over there to help us. Usually helps do littles and all that. So you were gonna try to find out if you were gonna be able to.
Sorry, I heard marble. I heard very garbled what you're saying.
And the director resigned. They were not able to get any tickets.
I'm sorry. The name again? I did not get that when you were talking.
Oh no! You told me you were gonna try to get one for my wife because she's going to help. Hey, he helps Lulette and all that, and then her director for the Quails, she resigned, and the new director was lost, and they weren't able to get any tickets.
Okay, so your wife currently doesn't have a ticket.
That is correct.
Okay. Okay, I've made a note of that. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Because what we're going to do is move forward with the list that we have, because this is the time where we want to start locking things down. Have you guys seen any countdowns? Anybody know how many days till Camporee?
100 and something.
Yeah, it's not very much. So it's coming. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. I want to lock all this in because as we lock it in, that's where we start to build our final plan. So we are 133 days away. That's not very much. So we are excited for what's coming. Anyone else want to say anything about their ticket? They have a ticket, need a ticket, they have an extra ticket, they're not coming, they were coming, they want to come, they don't have one. And I can't guarantee for those that have made known to me tonight that they need a ticket, because I've also got a list of what I'm working on, and I've got a limited number of tickets that we have purchased for our OAV team. So, all right, very good.
One more. Pastor P, can you share the list with the various areas for those who are attending from the various areas at a later,
Yeah,
it's complete.
I'll email it tomorrow for sure. I can go through the list. I'll share it one more time on the screen just so we can see it one more time. This is what I have: requests from OAVs from the north, from central, and I've added Richard. This is west. This is south. So you got a good team coming, Anthony. And then this is. Did I go too fast on south for you, Anthony?
No, I'm unable to see the list, the names. So you could just share the names later on.
Yeah, I'll share. I'll email this whole list, all of our OAVs.
Anthony, if you enlarge in your screen, then you would see the name as they go along. But okay, that's okay.
Yeah, I'll email that out. Okay, so the big idea tonight was just to say, hey, we're excited about Gillette. We're excited about the Camporee. We know many of you have other roles. I know Daryl's got a nighttime role with the program and with drums. I know Deidre, we mentioned that, has some honor responsibilities. Some of you as our area administrators will have area responsibilities. We're looking for that. Javier's our camping director, so he's heavily involved. So there are a lot of different details coming together. I know George is going to be helping later on with the map and getting all that set up. Eric is driving the truck out with George with all our camping setup equipment. So everybody's got different parts. Eartha is helping us with baptisms. Eartha is also helping us with the morning worships and also helping us with the on-site parade on Friday when Florida marches. So they'll be recruiting some of you to do different things. We're excited about the Camporee. We're excited for the opportunity to be in a new place. It's going to mean some new things, right? We're going to learn some things. Some things might not feel as easy or comfortable because it's new to us. But with our team there and with us working together and with Javier helping lead us for the Camporee and with God on our side, we're going to make it, right? Like we're going to be all right. Javier, is there anything that you'd like to share with us tonight or any thoughts that you think the OAV team needs to hear before we close?
Yes. There's a few clubs that have asked me about the size of their camping site. And just to be on the same page, I know the camporee.org, I think, have a certain numbers per registration. But the number that I'm giving them, our Florida clubs, is 115, 120 square feet. I think it's better to go low and then be surprised and get more than promise them more and then getting less. At this point, I'm not sure how Florida is going to grow. For those of you who were there, you know that we are in a corner. So basically we have two sites that they're already set up. We cannot grow anymore. We got streets on those two sites. So, and this is a bigger number than other camporees. So I'm been telling people 115. So just in case you got the same question from clubs, just telling them that we're trying to get the information from Southern Union, but we think that we're going to get between 115, 120. The numbers that we get from the camporee.org, I think it's 140, if I remember correctly. Those numbers are correct, but remember, that's for us. But then we need to take out all the space that we need for the OAV village, the headquarters, everything that we need for our own, the streets, everything. Whatever is left, we think it's going to be up between 115 and 120. So that's what I wanted to say.
Very
Javier, is
good.
that square feet per person?
Yes. So
Okay.
if somebody don't understand that, and I'm not saying that in a funny way, because it's hard to say, oh, you're getting 110 square feet. So basically tell them it's a piece of land 11 by 10. So each registration will get, if they have 10 people, each one will get 11 feet by 10 feet. So when you put all of that together, that's what you're getting.
Thank you.
Javier,
Yes.
Javier, I was talking with Lyle today, and unofficially he said with Southern Union have over 1,000 more, it's gonna be tighter with space. He
Yes.
said those clubs who are hosting international Pathfinder, they are not giving them any space for the international. So they have to make sure whatever space they have for their club, the international gotta be in it also. So it might be even a little smaller than that.
Yeah, and another thing, Calvin, and the others, is that there's clubs who wanted to rent a big tent for their space. What I am suggesting to them is, I don't think you are gonna be having enough space if you put that tent on your own, like just for that, just to have the space for the tent. You might need to put tents inside the big tent, because I mean, I don't think we have enough space to have a big tent plus all the space left over for tents. And other clubs told me that they're gonna bring RVs, that they're gonna park there. So I'm just putting them in their mind that it's not gonna be spacious. It's gonna be tight.
Also, there is a possibility that what we look on when we went there, they might be changing us, because they're gonna close the main road down, and buses gonna use the area where we decided we would unload our bus for turnaround area. So there are some changes, big changes happening in there.
That is correct.
Javier,
Yeah, Jose.
also, we need to find out about some clubs that might have more tickets than we know. And it's not what shows on Camporee.org. Example, Maranatha. They only show one ticket, but they have 25, over 25 tickets, the director told me. If you go to Camporee.org, only shows one ticket. So we're gonna have over 3,800 people counting those tickets that people have that doesn't show up in Camporee.org.
Okay, thank you.
While
Thank
we're
you for that.
a hand up, but it's not being recognized. So, Sister Brooks would like everybody to know, as OAVs, that you are going to also need to give some time to help with security.
Yeah. And Deidre, your hand was up, but then Calvin spoke, so I thought that was the hand up. So I didn't know you were all. I forgot you're all on the same phone. So thank you for that. Yeah, and that's part of what we said for OAVs, like be prepared to help and assist with different parts. So there are a lot of things that the Camporee committee will be discussing and sorting out. We'll have another OAV meeting that will talk about some more things once more details get finalized. This meeting was just to make sure we're all on the same page moving forward. Just by way of information, I do want to share this screen with you real quick. This is a breakdown of what we're looking like with containers. So I'll email this to everyone again this week, but in terms of central, for containers, there are 15 clubs and 48 containers. Each area will have one OAV container. So just keep that in mind. For our north clubs, we have 6 clubs coming from the north, and they are taking up 22 containers. So that's there. For west, we have 5 clubs and 11 containers. And then for south, we have a total of 32 clubs taking up 81 containers. So we've been working from the committee with the Camporee side of how many containers in each area and the trucks and the loading and who's going where. But I wanted you at least to start to see, if you haven't already thought about that, what's coming from my area, which clubs have ordered containers. That's information we'll share with our area admins as we continue to move forward. And our area admins make up part of our Camporee committee, so they'll be on that side as well. But as you can tell, there's a lot of information, a lot of details to manage and to go through with all this. And it's going to take all of us working together to make this a great Camporee for our clubs. So OAVs, we're excited you're coming. Our clubs need you. We're going to need you. And we're excited to be able to partner with you to make Camporee happen. I do see Lydia's hand, and then we'll start to wrap up.
Yes, good night, everybody. Good night, Pastor. My question was, do we have any intent or any intention of getting extra containers? Or what would motivate us to get extra containers?
Yeah, thank you for that. I'll talk about some of that at the 8 o'clock meeting with our clubs. And at this point, I think we're maxed out with what I think our OAV team can handle in terms of loading and unloading and reloading and getting back. We're taking another 60 containers almost than what we did last time. So at this point, we'll offer some suggestions to clubs. And again, this will come up in the next meeting, but one of the suggestions will be, if you're hauling a chuck wagon or a food wagon, to consider putting some gear in that wagon. If you know of somebody who's driving, consider asking them to haul a trailer and put some gear in a trailer. If you don't have any of those happening, consider asking someone to drive a truck or drive a trailer if you need more gear. At this point, the solution that we've come up with is not to get a fourth truck. We already have added a third truck, and I think that that's going to push us at this point to our max in terms of what we can handle. So that's where we are at this point. That's the decision that we've kind of processed and agreed on. And those are some of the options that we've said clubs might want to consider as they now realize that containers have sold out. So we've sold about 160 containers for our clubs to move gear. Thank you for the question.
Do we stay here for the next meeting, or is there a different link?
It's a new link. Because I didn't want people to come in or to start trying to jump in.
Could you send that to me? Send that link to me?
I could. Yep.
Yeah, and also to me, Pastor. I don't know what I did with it.
Okay. It should have been emailed from the office on Thursday, but I'll send the same link like I did to this meeting to that meeting in case some of you need it.
Or maybe I'm looking at the wrong email.
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
Pastor, I have a quick question. How many OAVs, I don't have the list with me right now in front of me. How many OAVs and PAC members do you see in the list? More or less. And the document that you just showed.
In terms of a number?
Yes. Like
let me go through it.
20 or
on my list, I have an OAV team of 34. And then tonight we've looked at Henry and Richard adding, and we've talked about some other things. So it'll be about 35, 40 of the OAV team that's coming.
Okay.
And that's out of about 70 OAVs that we have in the state.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious. If we think about Florida as a big club that we're taking camping, the staff that we're having need to handle right now, according to the numbers, 3,800, 95 people.
Yeah.
Per person.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a tight ratio, isn't it? Would you go camping with 100 people by yourself as the leader? The good thing is that the clubs have staff, right?
Yeah.
The clubs have staff, they have adults, they have supervision. We're there as support. So we are a little thin, I think, but it is what we have, and we'll make it work. I know this team always does. Okay, I'm going to send the link again out to this group. If you forwarded it to somebody, please forward the next link. This is for our club BTP meeting. So this is for club directors, for club secretaries to come in, find information. That will start at 8 p.m. So I'm going to close this meeting, and then we'll jump in, and I'll start the other one, close up this one, and we'll get going. So I'm going to, pardon?
Please There's some messages there. I was trying to get to you. You probably could read faster.
Okay,